The Atlanta Braves lose 2-1 to the Diamondbacks on Wednesday in what is now the frontrunner for worst loss of the year. Let's talk about it.
This is the Braves Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Atlanta Braves. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Braves Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, where we cover your Atlanta sports teams each and every day. I'm your host, Lindsay Crosby, author of the Braves Today newsletter over bravestoday.com. You can follow me on social media at Crosby Baseball. He's Jake Mastroianni, host of Locked On Braves. Follow him on social media at Shortstop Ball. If you need it, we can give you the address to send us supplies to get over our sorrows, because Braves drop game 2 to the Diamondbacks 2-1. And honestly, Jake, this one I feel like is the worst loss of the season. It wasn't a blowout. And I would, at a certain point, I think you'd rather get blown out than to lose the way that you did here. Because not only do the Braves, are they getting no hit through 5 2/3 innings, but then they end up having rallies, having opportunities to score. And not only do they not score, they don't score in embarrassing fashion.
It definitely is up there for the most painful loss of the year for me. Like you said, it just nothing really going for, really 7 innings in this game with Merrill Kelly in there. And then you get an opportunity in the 8th and it looks like, this is going to be the moment. They're going to tie it up, maybe take the lead, and then you don't. And then the Diamondbacks add on a run. And at that point you think, okay, well, it's definitely over now. We're down by 2. And then you get that 1 run back just to make it a 1-run loss, to make it as painful as possible. I mean, Justin Martinez and the Diamondbacks were trying to give this game to the Atlanta Braves, and they still could not take it. This is right up there, one of the worst of the season for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is all right. So let's start off with Merrill Kelly. He has struggled this year. He's not been terrible coming into this game. 3.78 ERA, 5-2 record in a really nice statistical sample, 69 innings. But he's just like Zach Gallen yesterday. He looked fantastic today. He gets through the order the first time very, very easily. Again, he has the perfect game. I had it on. He had the perfect game through 4 innings. Marcell Ozuna walks to open the 5th inning to break that up. Then he has a no-hitter through 5 2/3. Ronald Acuna Jr. gets a single. And Merrill Kelly, like you talked about this yesterday, the path to be successful against the Diamondbacks is to get into their bullpen. They've lost so many relievers. They've had so many injuries. That bullpen's been so bad. Merrill Kelly makes it through 7 innings on 98 pitches because it's like they finally decided to be aggressive at the wrong time. And then as soon as he's out of the game, they have opportunities to score. And it got so bad. I have never heard that many boos for the home team in Truist Park. And at this point, it's hard to argue that those weren't warranted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always the one that's, kind of against booing your own team. But like you said, it's warranted at this point with what and to me, it's not so much. Yeah, I'm sure you're booing the players too. I think you're booing the coaches. You're booing the front office. You're booing everybody at this point, because it is just, it's not acceptable what they're doing and the way that they're playing. It's not acceptable at all. So, and it's very frustrating. Like you said, what was the biggest weakness of the Diamondbacks coming in? It was their pitching staff, particularly that bullpen, but also the starters haven't been good either outside of Corbin Burns. And you're not facing Corbin Burns and nobody might the rest of the year, unfortunately, because it looks like he might be going the same way as AJ. But you allow Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, who have had their struggles this year, to just breeze through 7 innings. And that is what we talked about yesterday. We can talk about the 8th and 9th innings, but you had 7 innings again where you did absolutely nothing. Same thing as game 1 in this series. Yeah, you had a couple of chances in game 1 in the 4th inning and in that 8th inning, but that was 7 innings you had where you did nothing. And you're putting all your eggs into everything coming together for you in 1 inning. And yes, they should have. That 8th inning, you got to find a way to score a single run. But I'm just making the point about this offense and how bad it is that you are basically wasting over 2/3 of the game, 3/4 of the game. I don't really know how fractions work, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's just, it can't keep happening. You cannot keep having games where you're just letting starting pitchers breeze through 6, 7 innings and you're getting maybe 1, 2, 3 scoring chances an entire game. That's not this offense. That's not what this offense was built to do. It was built to be an offense that is putting pressure on you each and every inning, and it's not doing that, and it's unacceptable. Boo. I'm booing. There's me. I'm booing too.
Yeah. All right. So I want to break down the 8th and the 9th. And I it's not because I'm cruel and I just want to hurt everybody's feelings. Like, I want us to understand exactly how bad this was. Okay. So they take Merrill Kelly out. Mercifully, you get away from Merrill Kelly. I never thought I would say that. Alex Verdugo actually does something at the plate. He gets a leadoff single. They immediately put Eli White into pinch run. Down with this so far. Sean Murphy gets a single. White goes to third. They put Luke Williams into run. Also good for this so far. Drake Baldwin comes in to be your pinch hitter. Luke Williams steals second base. You have runners on second and third and no outs. They go to Justin Martinez. And at that point, Michael Harris strikes out on 3 pitches, and only one of them is within a foot of the strike zone. They walk Ronald Acuna Jr. I would too, right? Austin Riley strikes out swinging. In his defense, that last strike was weird. I thought he tipped it. He thought he tipped it, whatever. But you had runners on second and third and no outs, and you can do nothing. And then in the 9th, you get another chance. Matt Olson walks, goes to second. Marcell Ozuna strikes out. 2 pitches in the zone on a 6-pitch at-bat. Strikes out. Ozzie Albies walks. Eli White is this close to an inning double play. You mentioned that as soon as we got on the thing, is that it was almost over. Luke Williams hit by a pitch to load the bases with what? 1 out here? Drake Baldwin walks in a run. Michael Harris strikes out on 4 pitches, and one of them was within a foot of the zone. There's a lot of changes that need to happen. Give me a reason why Michael Harris being sent to Gwinnett is not the number one change that needs to happen.
Because who are you replacing him with? I mean, are you putting Eli White in center? Or are you calling Carlos Rodriguez up? Like, who are you replacing him with? Is basically the answer right now. There's just nobody else really that you can go to. A lot of stuff to unpack there.
Yeah.
I hate to do this to a rookie, but that 8th inning's on Drake Baldwin. I'm sorry, but it is. He cannot strike out there. Second and third, nobody out. He gets a slider that is just spinning over the plate, and he swings out of his shoes. I gotta have you cut down there with 2 strikes and put the ball in play, especially knowing who is on deck in Michael Harris. You have got to put that ball in play. And again, I hate to put all this on the rookie who's done so much, but that inning is on him because you knew what was coming up on deck in Michael Harris. And especially once they went to Justin Martinez, just wasn't going to be a good at bat. But to me, that 8th inning falls apart with Drake Baldwin striking out. And then not only is this a painful loss, I'm thinking, okay, Drake Baldwin strikeouts, that's tough. Michael Harris is probably not going to do anything here, but at least maybe we'll get a moment with Ronald, and then they walk him. We don't even get the moment with Ronald up there. Yeah. At least I was looking forward to that, which is the smart move and definitely what you should do there. But then Riley strikes out, and it's just that it can't happen. And again, I hate to do it. I really do, because Drake Baldwin's been awesome, but you got to put the ball in play there. And then in that 9th inning, again, Justin Martinez trying to hand it to you. Eli White, man, I'm sorry that you lost your job the way that you did. You were playing great. You're getting sparing opportunities now. This guy is all over the place, and you swing at the first pitch of the at-bat. I mean,
and it was a hanging slider, and
it was actually a good pitch to hit.
He knocked it into the ground at like 80 miles an hour.
But you just can't do it when this guy is all over the place. You can't do that. And then Michael Harris, again, we already talked about it. If there was anybody remotely acceptable to put in center field right now, and the fact that he's playing Gold Glove defense out there too, I think you make a change. But who are you going to? There's just nobody else. You're certainly not pushing Acuna back out to center field like you had to do several years ago. There's just nobody else that you're going to be able to put in center field to replace him at the moment. But he has got to figure this thing out. Those were 2 just awful at bats.
5 total pitches with runners either on second or third or bases loaded, 2 strikeouts. Just, I mean, something's got to change there. You got to like Michael Harris has to figure it out. Maybe you bench him for a little bit and you put Eli White in there. If nothing else as a message, I don't know. They've got to do something. This can't, the status quo of what it is. And like, you're right on Baldwin, you're right on Eli White, but like, we also have to remember Austin Riley had an opportunity. He struck out. Marcell Ozuna had an opportunity. He struck out. And if I remember right, he was up 3-1 and he looked at a fastball in the zone and then swung at a splitter way below the plate.
I think it was the same sequence almost for him and Ozuna. And look, it's a nasty sequence, and that splitter for Justin Martinez when he throws it actually below the zone, it is just filthy. When you're seeing 99 at your eyes and then that splitter falls out, it's tough. But like you said, those are your guys, and we've talked about that too. Those guys have to come through. And I saw somebody in the comments say it's not just Baldwin. I get that, but Baldwin had the best opportunity with second and third, nobody else.
The approach for Baldwin was one of the worst in that whole situation of going for the kill shot there on that slider. Okay. We got to talk about the pitching. There's good, there's bad, there's some possible scary news. We'll do that next, right here on the Braves Postcast. Do you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, and that's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Because Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. The thing that I love is me and my partner, we can manage all of our finances. It's smoother than ever. I can track shared accounts, what I have for my personal account, what she has for her personal account. We can set goals. We can stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for 50% off your first year. And with that money you save, get the supplies you need from the sites made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you're a DIYer doing some work around the house and you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you will always talk to a real person. For the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage of this program, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM. Start ordering your plumbing, your HVAC, your electrical supplies with just a few clicks. And everybody, trade pros and DIYers alike, can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's at supplyhouse.com. We talked about this last time he made a start. You can't lose the Chris Sale game. Chris Sale goes 6 innings, 1 run. To me, he clearly does not have his best stuff. He hits a batter, he walks 4, but because he's Chris Sale, he strikes out 10. Again, he gets through 6 full innings with 3 hits, the 1 run, and he takes the loss here, warranted or not, on a 103 pitch effort. I don't know what to think about the fact that Chris Sale has become a 2-pitch pitcher now. He's not throwing anything else but the 4-seamer and the slider. It's working, obviously. Like, it's not a problem. I just don't know what to think about the fact that in an age of MLB where everybody is widening their arsenals, he's narrowing his to just his 2 best pitches and just using them over and over again. But again, it's working.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's how the old saying goes. But it's crazy to see these 2 pitchers tonight. And Merrill Kelly's throwing 6 pitches and Chris Sale's throwing 2. And they're both absolutely dominant. I mean, you can get it done in different ways. But obviously what Chris Sale has been able to do, just working on his Hall of Fame resume, I think at the moment is going down as one of the best strikeout pitchers of all time. He's Chris Sale. His ERA is back under 3 now, even after the rough start to the season that he had. And as you said, you cannot waste these starts. He's going out there giving you everything he can. Certainly don't love the walks, and I know that's what he's going to say. He walked too many tonight, and that cost his team. But this isn't on Chris Sale. He was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. A scary situation. We don't have full updates just as of yet, but one that definitely didn't look good. Daisabel Hernandez had to leave this game. and he pulled I think 100 or 101 mile an hour fastball inside to Naylor, and kind of gets done and does that hand squeeze kind of thing where his hand's a little tingly. Ozzie Albies immediately notices from behind him, signals to the dugout, and comes up to be the translator there. Trainer looks at him, takes him out of the game. I can't imagine that that's anything good, right? I think it's no matter what, it feels like that's something awful. Is this the runway that the Braves needed to bring Craig Kimbrell up? Or is this they're going to go with some other option and just not even give Kimbrell a chance, you think?
If they're not going to give Kimbrell a chance now, then what are you doing with him? Like, I mean, he's been really good at AAA. The numbers are good. I mean, I can't speak to the stuff. I'm not watching him, but the numbers have certainly been there. So if you're not going to give him the opportunity now, then I don't really know when you are. Unfortunate for Daysville. I mean, he's been really struggling with the command lately, even in this start too. But could be a blessing in disguise for him if it's nothing major and he just needs to maybe sit out for a little while. Could be a chance for him to kind of hit the reset button and hopefully kind of get the command issues back under control, because Braves have been counting on him to be one of their higher leverage relievers. So if he's gone, I don't know if it's Kimbrell. I don't know who it is, but you're going to be asking some more out of the back end of your bullpen guys to get the job done. If we ever get a lead again, maybe they're not needed in a high leverage situation. But yeah, he's been one of your best.
They sent Raisel Iglesias in there, and he gave up he gave up a run. But at the same time, I mean, to your point, if you don't get any more save situations, you don't have to need a guy who could lock down a save. I don't know what to think about this Raisel Iglesias outing. I mean, the results speak for themselves, right? I mean, he gives up a run on multiple hits, double to Tim Tawa, single to Kettle Marte, walks Corbin Carroll, gets himself in another jam and gets out of it. But like when you look at the pitches, he's not throwing the slider a ton, but it's some of the same stuff. Gabriel Moreno, 5-pitch at bat on a ground out. 4 of the 5 pitches are chest high. Like there's only one pitch he gets down, and it's a changeup taken for a ball. Tim Tawa, 2 sinkers in the zone, gets the double. Geraldo Perdomo, first pitch is a called strike at the waist, like belt high, center of the plate. He's still leaving pitches up. This is obviously not the biggest problem for the Braves. This is not the 3rd or 4th biggest problem for the Braves. But at what point in time, especially with losing Daysbell, do you say we've got to do something else here?
I hate to say this, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Like, who do you go to? I mean, if Iggy's not your guy and you've lost Daysbell, who's had his own command issues, you're looking at Dylan Lee or Pierce Johnson. And Pierce Johnson is probably the guy. I know Snicker's gone to him at times in the past when Iggy wasn't available. Yeah. But I just don't know. And I can't defend Iggy anymore, even if I don't think this was the worst outing. I mean, the sinker that he left up to Tawa just had too much of the plate. The changeup that Marte hit, it's off the plate. It's down way off the plate. I mean,
nothing's in the zone and he still hit it.
Just I don't know what you do. You didn't do enough in the offseason. We know that, but there's nothing you can do about that at this point. Nobody's really trade you anything of significance at this part of the season. If there were anybody in the minor leagues that they thought could make a huge difference, I would hope that they would already be up here by now. So it just unfortunately is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's at this point, it almost feels like your best bet is Ronaldo Lopez when he comes back, whenever that might be. We saw him in the dugout. I think yesterday was the first time we've seen him. But other than that, we're at the point of, I mean, in case you haven't figured it out, people, we've tried nothing. We're all out of ideas. Like there's just, it's the definition of insanity. We're just doing the same thing every day, hoping that these guys figure it out. And so far, it doesn't appear like anybody's really figuring things out. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the series finale tomorrow. This is a Grant Holmes start. This is an early game because the Braves have to fly to San Francisco after this game. So 12:15 Eastern, Brandon Pfaadt versus Grant Holmes. Braves are looking to not get swept. And the biggest takeaway, the final takeaway I have from this whole thing is the Braves have become everybody's get-right team. Mm-hmm. The Padres were 2-6 in their 8 games before they came to Truist Park. The Red Sox were 2-6. The Diamondbacks were 1-7. And each one of them have now won the series. When do the Braves get to play a get-right game? Who is the Braves version of the Atlanta Braves they could get right against?
Felt like it was a Pittsburgh a while back. Then it felt like it was the Nationals. They do have the Rockies coming up here soon. Maybe that'll be it. But they just won a series. They've won more games in the month of June than the Braves have. So I don't know.
Orlando Arcia has won more games with the
spark.
Rockies in the last week than the Braves have won in the last week. It is incredibly frustrating. All right, 2-1 victory for the Diamondbacks over the Braves. They didn't even want to win this game, but the Braves wanted to lose more than the Diamondbacks wanted to win. We'll be back tomorrow to break down the series finale. Win, lose, or probably lose, let's be honest. But do us a favor. If you're listening on audio, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, leave a 5-star review. We're doing our best over here, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to both Locked On Braves and Locked On Sports Atlanta. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live to break down the episode. And until next time, this has been the Braves Postcast.